Potential is everywhere. It's in our schools, our neighborhoods, and our future workforce. But while potential is equally distributed, opportunity is not. Welcome to the Empower Potential podcast, brought to you by Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Bay Area. Every episode, we explore the stories, strategies, and science behind mentorship and how one consistent relationship can change a life and a community forever. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sheil, and you're listening to the Empower Potential podcast. Today, we have a very special guest joining us. So, mentorship is a cycle that can span decades, and our next guest is a perfect example. Eugene grew up with a big brother of his own, Dirk, and always knew that he wanted to give back in that same meaningful way. Since May 2019, he has been that big for his little brother, Alvin. Their bond is so powerful that when we published the story in 2024 in the Impact Report, it actually led to Eugene's own former big to reach back out, and reconnect after all these years. So today we're talking to Eugene about the brotherly rapport that he's built with Alvin, from jumping railings at Oracle Park to catch baseballs to being the black role model that Alvin's family was looking out for. Eugene, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, so obviously in the intro, I spoke about the fact that you grew up with a big brother of your own named Dirk. Um, do you remember if there was a specific moment when you were a little that kind of made you realize that you wanted to be a big brother yourself?
Um, I think I grew up in San Francisco, born and raised, third generation. I went to the Boys and Girls Club on Page Street back when they had one. And yeah, I got a big brother, and I think right then and there I was like, I have to do this at some point in my life. I have to, become a big brother, whether if I have my own family or not. But that was one thing I like made for sure. I made a promise to myself that I would, get involved in trying to help and, mentor someone, my age, or mentor a child when I get older. So, yeah.
So yeah, what was that experience like for you? Like just being a little, what were some of the things that you and Dirk used to do?
Dirk was fun. Dirk was he was fun. He was chill. He's very active. So we did tennis together. We went to baseball games together. We went to a few shows. I think we saw the Nutcracker once, so it was nice to see the arts, and he got me introduced to that at a young age, and it was really cool. It's um, he was, I enjoyed that he was, he liked to run around and stuff. So we always got a chance to do like the boys, Big Brother picnics when they had those, and we would do like the foot races and whatever little games they had, and we always won. So shout out to
Okay.
Dirk.
Okay, okay. All right, we got a couple winners on our hand. I love that. Love that.
you know,
Um, so as I stated before, we understand that Dirk actually got back into contact with you
yeah.
after reading the impact report. So what was that like, to hear from him after all that time, and then maybe how was that sort of connected to your long haul commitment with Alvin?
It was pretty cool. I got a call from the Big Brother program and saying like, "Hey, Dirk wants to reach out to you." I was like, "Yeah, of course." So he called me that day. We sat on the phone about an hour catching up. I was telling him about Alvin. He lives in Vegas now, so next time he comes out to San Francisco, I'm trying to get all three of us together, grab a lunch. So maybe get a picture, send it to the Big Brother program. But it was good reaching out to him. I haven't spoken to him in years. Yeah, he's doing well. He has his family out there. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so what was that like? Because how long had you guys like not been in contact, do you know?
I think the last time I talked to Dirk, I was 20, maybe 2021.
Okay.
So I'm 37 now, so it's been that
Mm.
long.
Wow.
So yeah, it was great just to catch up, just to hear his voice, just to hear he's doing well. Um, you know, we had a really special bond, when we were together hanging out. So I'm hoping that we can reconnect as soon as we make time. Life happens, of course. So, but it was good. It was nice to hear from him. He's a really good guy.
That's great, man. That's great.
Yeah.
And kind of, I guess, similar to that, like, was there anything from that relationship with Dirk that kind of like influenced the way that you sort of have your relationship with Alvin as well?
I think Dirk allowed me um, just to be myself. Um, and I think that's very important, so with him allowing me to be myself, he just did we just did things together that we both enjoyed. So we like going to the Giants game, so we did that, and that was real special. We sit there and watch the game, talk about sports. After that, we would go grab food or whatever. So I try to do those same things with Alvin. I try to let him be who he is, and I try to adapt myself around him, but also maintain him, my me being myself. So um, yeah, it just makes it easier that me and Alvin have a lot of things in common, especially sports, and I literally treat him like he's my own little brother. So, and that's how I felt like Dirk treated me. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, yeah, so I'm wondering, right, how long were you guys matched, by the way, you and Dirk?
I want to say I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
I think I was getting out of junior high school and then all the way through high school. I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously your match with Alvin is I mean, what is it? Five? No, no, 6, 7 years almost?
7 years now. Whew.
Yeah, yeah. So, your relationship with Alvin has lasted longer than that. Um, is there, I don't know, one lesson that you sort of like go back to from your own match that you've tried to like bring into your relationship with Alvin?
Um, patience, patience with myself and with Alvin. But Alvin is a very unique kid. He's very chill. He's very easy. Um, we have we be in our own little world sometimes. When we get together, it's me and Alvin, and everything else is you know. But um, not necessarily. We just I yeah we just have a different bond. I think we actually found out that we're kind of related. A little from like cousins. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
His grandmother is my dad's cousin, so he's literally like my young like little brother. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's great because I mean, I think that definitely shows through in your guys' bond because like I know at the summer match parties, y'all are always kind of the craziest over there, just doing your
what?
thing. Throwing around the football and getting a little, wrestling a little bit, but uh yeah, no, I think your guys' bond is really special. So
Yeah.
let's dive into that a little bit.
Okay.
So obviously, we wrote that, or my manager wrote that impact report story from last year.
Hmm.
And in it, it kind of mentions that Alvin, remembers your first meeting very vividly,
Yeah.
specifically an ugly gray shirt that you wore.
You know, I don't necessarily agree with that statement. That it was a very nice 49ers hoodie or jacket. It's a really nice jacket. So I can go and show you what he wore, and it was very unacceptable because I don't know who color coordinated his outfit, but I was like, okay, one thing I'm gonna do is get this kid set right on, you know, colors and matching.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
see if I can find this picture.
Um, okay,
See
well,
this? Okay, no. See, you see this? That is a very good sweat. That's
oh,
a
I mean, I
nice
like it. I like it.
49ers hoodie. Now look at what he's wearing. Can you see
Uh,
that?
it's a little like turtle pattern almost shirt.
Exactly. It's yeah, no.
I'm gonna
No.
describe it for our audience. It's like a green and white shirt.
It's like a palm trees with tigers with blue pants, and then he had on like pink shoes or something. Yeah, no.
But anyways,
Absolutely not.
the question was not about that, but I'm glad you
Oh.
brought that up. Beyond the fashion choice, beyond the fashion choice, do you remember what you saw in that shy, 6-year-old boy that made you say, yes to him and like kind of be committed to him from the start?
Um, I just knew he wanted to open up a little bit, someone he could hang out with, someone he felt comfortable with, he could be himself. and once we broke down that barrier, he just ran off. It was just very it's very fluent. It was no hassle, no pull. It was just like we just mesh. And every time we would hang out, after we'd hang out, I'd be like, yo, did you have a good time? He'd be like, yeah. I'm like, you want to do it again? He'd be like, yeah. So it was all on him. I was like, if you want to do this and hang out, we can do it. Because I want you to enjoy yourself and have a good experience.
Yeah.
It's not about me, it's about you. So,
Right.
but I was like, yeah, like, let's hang out, let's do it. He's very chill, and now he's Alvin. He's Alvin True.
Alvin, true.
Alvin True.
Um, yeah, so one other part of the story was that Alvin's mom, Ollie, she mentioned that you treated Alvin as like an equal
Yeah,
during all your interactions. So why do you feel it's important for a mentor to respect a young person as an equal rather than just a kid who needs direction?
I think the program is for the kids. Like, as much as I enjoy spending time with him. I want him to be himself and be who he is, and feel comfortable. So for me, it was just, again, adapting to what he wants to do, and how he wants to hang out. He's a very special kid. He's very talented. He's very gifted. He's got a lot going on. He plays the soccer. He just got accepted to soda. He plays the piano. He plays the drums. He's all over the map. Like, he's so talented. So it was just me just trying to figure out where I can impact his life and what I can do to make him. You know, the goal is to make him. I want to see him shine. I want to see him do whatever he can to do in this world, because I feel like he can do whatever he wants to do. The kid is talented. So, um, whatever I can do to support him in any way, uplift him. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, so as we mentioned before, you guys kind of have a very like playful, very competitive type of rapport. Um, how do you feel like that sort of like all-in competitive energy is helping to build like the safety and the trust that Alvin feels with you?
Huh? I'm gonna have to give me that one more time. I'm sorry. Give
Yeah,
me
I
that one more
mean,
time.
you guys are very playful, very competitive,
Yeah.
and with that comes a lot of energy. But, how do you feel like that energy really helps to build some sort of safety and trust net that Alvin feels with you?
I don't know how to answer that. I think the trust just came.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I Yeah, we just bonded. Like, that's the only way I can really explain it. We just
Yeah.
bonded, and I think he knows that I genuinely care for him, and would protect him. I think what it is like, we would hang out with his friends, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes his friends would be like, like, they would kind of, in a joking way, they would kind of like grab Alvin, like, like, and I'm like, hey, like, nah, hell nah.
Yeah.
Now when I'm here, you ain't about to be picking on my little brother. Hell nah. And then
Yeah.
he would be like, yeah, that's right. And I'm like, yeah, you better back up. So
Yeah.
in a way, I guess I'm being big bro protecting, little bro kind of thing.
Yeah.
But as far as the competitiveness goes, he started that. We play basketball. He'd be like, oh, I can beat you, and I'm like, okay, all right. So it was stuff. It was stuff like that. It was
Yeah.
it was basketball. It was soccer. It was ping pong. It was pickleball. It was whatever competitiveness we could do. It was, that's it always turned into competitive. Whether we running down the street trying to run to the next light the fastest,
Yeah.
it was always competitive. He always wants to be competitive, and I like being competitive. So,
Yeah.
it makes it fun. It makes it never dull with
Yeah.
Alvin. So,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, you answered that perfectly. It's just like
okay,
I
cool.
mean, no, I'm just saying, like, that's what I was kind of, asking. You guys obviously feed off each other's energy, and it feels
Yeah,
like, that kind of strengthens your bond, strengthens your relationship, and in turn, I'm sure Alvin feels much closer to you because of that, because of your guys' sort of personality similarness and all that.
yeah,
So,
yeah. We definitely have similar personalities, especially like, I think he loves to win. I think he loves to compete. He's a competitor. Um, so yeah, that it makes it fun. We be ice skating, and
yeah.
who can get around the fastest? Who can do this trick? Can you So he be trying to get me to break my neck on that ice.
I gotta ask, has he ever beaten you one on one in basketball?
Stop it.
You're not gonna answer
Stop
the
it.
question? Okay, all right.
Stop it.
All right, I'm
Stop it.
not.
Let him tell you he beat me all the time. I'm 51-0 against
Oh,
Alvin
okay.
in all aspects of sports, baby. Basketball,
Unbeaten.
football, pickleball, unbeaten, undefeated. I told him
Oh,
he'll be 6'3" one day, 6'4". He'll never
yep.
beat me in any sport in his life, and I hope he sees this one day because
Gonna show it to him.
I'm gonna show it to him. I'm gonna clip it. See,
Yep.
you know,
Oh man, I
he
love
might be
that.
able. He might be able to beat me in soccer. He
Yep.
might be able to beat me. Might.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Might.
Well, we're gonna save this and we're gonna show it to him when he's all grown up, and we'll see. We'll see
Okay.
if
Wait.
it's
Wait. 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 Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
it's all
You
on
know there
record
was.
now.
Okay. Look. 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 So he got me in the ping pong area. In the ping
Oh,
pong.
okay. Mm,
Yeah. He. You know he be beating me in that one. I give him that one.
gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So, beyond sports, like obviously you guys have a very close bond. So, in the story that we wrote, there was things about, the fact that you check in about things like hair and skincare.
Yeah.
Um, why do you feel like, those small, really like personal brotherly moments are really important?
You know, I unfortunately I didn't have my uncles growing up, so no one really taught me those. Keep your hair tight and lotion and everything. My mom and everything, my mom and my aunties instilled that in me. So I saw things in Alvin when he was younger that I was like, okay, cool. I gotta show him how to keep the waves tight. I'm not gonna show you my hair right now. I need a haircut. That's why the hat is on. So, but I had to show him like you gotta get them elbows with that lotion. You gotta get in between the nails, and it's just for me. I don't think just for me, but I think for all. I don't want to say all, but for most black men, that
Yeah.
it's important the upkeep of being present and having yourself look to having your looks together, being you know kept.
Mhm.
It's important. Um, you want to go into this world presenting yourself in the best way you can, especially for young black men.
Mhm.
So I've always tried to instill that in him of like, hey, you gotta, keep it. You ain't gotta go out 100% every time, but you want to look nice and presentable when you walking around.
Yeah.
You know, so especially that lotion, you got to keep that lotion on. I hope he's watching. I hope he watches this. Get that elbow.
Gotta
He
guide
just
him, gotta guide him.
man. We used to do this little thing. We used to
Yeah.
do this little thing where he be a little ashy, so I would sit there and I would like right on his like skin of like the
Mm.
ash. I'm like, this is from ash because you ain't putting no lotion on. So he started putting lotion on, and then he would do it to me, and I'm like, baby, look, I lotion every day. You ain't gonna find no ash on me, baby. So
I
that was
love
our
that.
little thing.
Yeah.
And his moms would do his hair. He
Hmm.
didn't like his mom's doing his hair, so then
Yeah.
I'd be like, sit there, I'd be like, come on over here, and I would sit there and help him with his hair, and he felt comfortable and safe to where he would sit there and let
Hmm.
me, do it. So it was
Yeah.
just like little moments like that, that I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. And now I see him and he be brushing his hair and he put his lotion on. I'm like, my baby growing up, my baby.
No, I mean that, you know what? Like, even if it's funny, it is actually, I feel like a very proud moment because I was just gonna ask, like, I feel like those conversations can kind of be sometimes be touchy. Like,
Yeah.
how did you approach that at first? Like, what did you say, or what was the conversation like when you sort of approached Alvin about this, or was this just something that, was instilled?
He asked me. He asked me.
Oh,
We would
okay.
sit there and hang out. We sit there.
Yeah.
I'm show you real quick. We sit there and hang out, and I would
Hmm.
sit there and I'd be brushing my hair. I sit
Oh,
there.
okay.
I
Okay.
brush my hair. Gene, why you brush your hair like that? I was like, baby, you gotta keep it tight. You gotta keep it tight. You can't be walking around looking all. And I
Yeah.
sit there and I get my lotion on, and I sit there and he be like, why you doing all that? I was like, baby, you can't be walking around no ashy.
Mm.
Because black folks will sit there and tell you, don't come up to you. I've had grown black women come to me and pull out a bottle of lotion and be like, here you go. And I'm like, oh damn, like so my
Yeah.
like you sit there, you
The
don't want to get checked by no old black
mhm,
woman about your ashiness. So it was just stuff like that. So he was just he was like, why do you do this? Why you do that? I was like,
mhm,
this how you keep yourself up. This is how you upkeep yourself. So it was just stuff like that, and now he does it. He keeps his hair short. He used to have long hair, now he keeps it short,
mhm,
and he maintains it. He gets a haircut every 1 2 weeks or 2 week 2 3 weeks now. He gets a haircut, I believe.
mhm.
So I'm kind of glad that I'm kind of rubbing off on him in a way like that.
Yeah.
Makes me happy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. Yeah, so kind of along the same lines, Alvin's moms also mentioned that they wanted him to have a role model, who looks like him, but also someone who could sort of expand his understanding of like different identities. Um, so how do you navigate that sort of like being a mirror for Alvin's background, but also a window into a different life? Just being, a gay man.
Ooh. Yeah, that was the tricky part because Alvin's parents are Caucasian women, so
Hmm.
I definitely wanted to bring him around some black culture. So for me, because the black man identity is a very different identity than there's for me there's so many ways that you know yeah it's being black in America. Anyway, I definitely wanted to show him positive things and how to carry yourself and um as a gay black man trying to figure out how to reach a young black boy that's about to become a man, and what I can do to help him maneuver through this world was very important to me. Um, you know, um, yeah, off record, Alvin is one of the reasons why I decided to change some things about my life because I wanted to be a better role model for him, and you know, yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
Um,
oh, absolutely.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I had to make some life changes myself, and it was because I wanted Alvin to see me as the best version of myself that I can be, and he's he's helped me out more than he knows it. You know, I love that kid a lot. He's a very special kid. Again, I know I keep saying that, but he really is. So I wanted to be a better. I wanted to when I saw him, I wanted to be the best version of myself. I wanted to be the best Gene I could be. That way, he saw me in whatever light he sees me in. He saw me that, and he was like, "Dang." Like maybe one day I want to be like not like me, better than me, but I want to be like Gene. So um, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I got for that question. As a gay
yeah,
man, is it's no difference. I don't think gay or straight has anything to do with it. I am who I am. Um, yeah,
yeah.
I think I touched that one. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, no, absolutely. No, I am very happy that you were able to, kind of be vulnerable and, talk about that. The reason I ask that is because like oftentimes, well, first of all, the experience that you're talking about where, your little has also influenced yourself,
Yeah,
is actually very common amongst a lot of our matches. Like, our mentors are like, I went into this like wanted to have an impact on my little, but at the end of the day, like I feel like they've impacted me more than I've impacted them because of,
yeah,
you know, whether it be, because of just kind of the resilience that they've seen in them, or like the different backgrounds that they have or whatnot, there has been something that they've been able to take away from it as much as they have been able to give. So I definitely wanna say that your experience is definitely shared among
Yeah,
the program. So that's just awesome to hear. We love that. And also, the other thing is, um, we often talk about our wait list and the fact that we have so many boys on our wait list, and specifically boys of color.
yeah,
And we're always looking for men of color to step up and match our wait list, because it's just so important to be able to, not that other cultures can't sort of understand the experience, but I feel, and I think the program feels that um, there is an important piece to being able to have a mentor who, looks like you,
yeah,
understands the experience, and, is able to open you up to new
yeah,
worlds as well. So,
yeah, yeah. Especially like with you know there's the culture difference between you know black and other cultures and everything. We just do different things differently. Especially with haircuts. You got to find a good barber that's gonna take care of your hair. Right. You got to find someone that's gonna give you that right geometry, the right angles, stuff like that. Lotion, hair products, and stuff like that. Certain stuff we can't use, or on our bodies that other people use. So things like that is something that is important for for little black boys knowing, because sometimes they go through life and they don't know these things. So
yeah,
it's stuff like that that I wanted to make sure he knew about. Certain hip hop, Tupac, Biggie. I had to make sure he knew about those people. Stuff like that. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. I gotta educate this. I try to go to black museums when I can. I try to take them to jazz fest. I try to whatever any black culture I can expose them to. I try to do that. Not just the laughs and the soccer games and the pranks and the jokes and the competitiveness. I try to expose them to much culture as much as possible. So we're gonna be doing, now that he got us going to Soda School of Arts. I want to
yeah.
start taking them more plays, more music. They got Hamilton coming, they got Color Purple coming. So
Oh, okay.
I want to start. I reached out to the Big Brother program and, like, anytime y'all get some tickets to the opera
Yeah.
or whatever.
Uh,
So
well,
I want to start exposing stuff like that. Because black culture is important, especially for young black men. So
yeah,
I'm trying to, keep them updated and keep them, close to the homebound,
yeah.
the roots.
Yeah, that's super powerful. I appreciate you sharing that. So, kind of going back to your and Alvin's story, Ali actually mentioned that Alvin has had a lot of people, come and go, but he
Yeah,
was really grateful to sort of the long haul, the long-term commitment that you
yeah.
guys have had. So
I'm not leaving that boy.
I
I'm not
was
leaving him.
I was gonna ask, what does it look like to you as a long-term commitment as Alvin sort of moves forward and starts in his teenage years and eventually, age 18? About to get real emotional.
You know, I I I told him I'm in it for the long run. I ain't going nowhere. I'll be here till he's 18, and then
Yeah,
after that, it's his decision if he wants to stay in touch. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be to college,
yeah,
and he's gonna be, you know, that young life. College, work, traveling, school, whatever. Right? He's gonna be doing something. He's gonna be somewhere. So I hope he wants to stay in touch. I'll stay in touch. I talked to both of his parents, so and his little sister. So I'm not.
uh,
I'm gonna be in the picture. I'm not leaving. He can't get rid of me. You're not getting rid of me. So yeah, I'm gonna be a part of his life for as long as I'm still on this earth.
yeah,
And I hope he wants to stay in touch and continue to be my little brother after this effect. And I hope that one day, after he has his own little family, maybe he'll get back into the program and have his own little brother.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, I love that. Yep.
yeah.
All right, so last couple questions.
Okay,
Uh, One thing I always like to ask people when they come on the podcast. So this is the Empower Potential podcast, right? So
okay.
empowering the potential of the next generation, that sort of thing. Was there or is there one moment that comes to mind, or just an idea that comes to mind, where you were able to empower the potential of Alvin in your relationship?
Um, I I like talking to him when he's competing. I can see sometimes he can kind of pull away from the competition a little bit. So sometimes I like pull him aside. I'm like, hey, like whatever we talk about, whatever, like like what you feeling right now. Like, is it your body? Are you hurting? Like, is your mental? Like, what's going on? Talk to me. So any way I can sit there and be like, go get it. Like, you're fine. Like, take a breath. Like, come here. Like, let's talk. Anytime I can have that moment with him and kind of like get him into a mode of where he can just go and be who he is, and I like stuff like that, or I think it helps him out. Excuse me.
Yeah,
I've definitely seen the transition of where he kind of like gets into that high gear of like, all right, I got to go get this, and that's really cool to see. Um, that's the only kind of memory that I can think of right now.
yeah,
But he's a go getter. He's gonna go far. He's gonna do what he's got to do, and he's gonna get into that mode, and he's gonna be a force to reckon with. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, absolutely. I mean, I believe it too. I believe it too,
yeah.
man. Okay, so last question.
Okay,
You've got a lot of experience with our program. I mean, you've been
yep.
a little, you've been a big, and you've been active in trying to grow the program as well, being very, in contact with us. So what would you say to, other men in the Bay Area, black men, LGBTQ plus men in the Bay Area who are considering volunteering but just aren't sure if they're a fit to be a mentor?
Uh, man, get out here, help these young boys, man. Come out here, man. Stop playing. Come out here, help these young kids, man. You got a lot of spare time in your hand. You ain't doing nothing with your life. Like, come and help these young kids, man. They need us. As much as they need us, we need them too. Um, Get back. You know, take a chance. Take a chance. It's truly fun. To be honest, I really enjoy hanging out with him. I'm gonna call him as soon as I'm done talking to y'all. I'm gonna,
Yeah,
like, hey, let's hang out. But yeah, man, come out here. You find a match, go with it, have fun. I know a lot of people that oh, how much time does it take? And I'm like, you set the times, you set the coordinates. It's not like you got to see them every day. If you want to see them every day, you can. If that's what y'all if that's what y'all agree on, whatever. But it's more of a, hey, I'm free this day, you free this day, and y'all get together and hang out. It's not, people think it's time consuming. I don't have that much time and everything. Yes, you do.
yeah,
Yeah, you do. You got time. You got time to come help these young black boys out. Come on out here. Come
yeah.
on.
I
Come
love
on,
it.
help these kids out.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's a great place to end the podcast on, Eugene. It's been a pleasure to have you on today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
thanks so much to our listeners for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, or you can find us on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss our next episode. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Empower Potential Podcast. If you found yourself nodding along today, either agreeing with something that you heard or simply enjoyed hearing from our community, we invite you to join us in our mission to connect Bay Area youth with caring, consistent mentors. We have youth right here in the Bay Area waiting for that person. Head over to bayareabigs.org to learn more. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you tune in for our next episode coming soon.